Hi, Sharks. My name is Aaliyah Marandis, and I live in Austin, Texas. Let's be real. Hair removal sucks. It's a tedious task that we have to do over and over again. As a hairy brown girl with very sensitive skin, I've left so many waxing salons with less hair, but my skin was collateral damage. While Sharks, hair removal has never been sweeter. Literally. Say hello to Sugardoh. At-home sugaring kits to remove any hair. We like to say, we got your back and your front, arms, legs, and anywhere else. Made with just sugar, water, and citrus, our all-natural sugar-based dough gently pulls hair from the root while exfoliating your skin, leaving you feeling silky smooth. And it's a gentle, compostable alternative to waxing. So Sharks, I'm the sugar mama to Sugardoh, so I'm asking for some serious dough. I'm seeking $500,000 for 5% of the company.
Wow,
but
man,
first,
come on,
Kendra, my friend Rishad here is in need of some sugaring himself. Do you want to come up and be his sugar mama and sugar with me?
Do I get to like remove?
Yes, you do.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and
oh my gosh, this is so exciting.
Kevin's back. Make her do Kevin's back.
Yes, I know. Are you serious?
This is my dream come true.
So Sugardoh is made with this taffy-like goop, and it is very fun to play with. It's kind of similar to caramel or taffy, made with similar ingredients as well.
Okay, what do I do?
So you can actually try on this side.
Okay, so all right, tell me if I'm doing this right. Okay, I'm gonna
mold it into your skin. I'm gonna
let it heat up a minute.
Yes, exactly. And I'm gonna help it.
It's
and then
molding.
you want to pull taut with the other hand. So pull the skin taut, and then 3, 2, 1. Woo!
Oh my God!
That is crazy. Welcome to another Shark Tank reaction video. And I'm Dave T, your intellectual property attorney, dealing with everything from patents, trademarks, copyrighted trade secrets. And I'll tell you what, man, these Shark Tank videos, I learn something new every time. Who would have thought? I love the name Sugardoh, catchy. We'll see if she has a trademark or if she's protecting the name. But who would have thought that? Well, she initially thought of it. I'm thinking it's some type of cream or whatnot that you put on there and kind of prep the area before you kind of use a blade or whatever the case may be. I didn't think it was going to be a wax that you literally kind of run across the hairy area and just pull off. I'm not sure. You guys have to let me know in the comment section whether or not, number one, if you use the product, you have to let me know what you think about it. But number two, I guess if I'm trying to, me is probably different as a man, because if I'm kind of doing myself, I'm using kind of, not to try to promote them, but Manscaped or some type of clippers or whatnot to kind of shave the area as opposed to the waxing feature. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But as a woman, is that something that, number one, you would do as opposed to just kind of going to somebody else? I think of like getting a facials or getting a wax or whatever the case may be, having somebody else do it and not have to worry about you're trying to spend the time and the energy to do it. Or just something that if you're kind of in a bind or, you can't make it to that wax person, that you will pull out and kind of do it yourself. I'm not sure, but it seems like, hey, with a $10 million valuation, $500K for 5%, I would imagine that she's making a ton of money on this thing, which, again, I'm pretty sure Mr. Wonderful and the other Sharks will get to it. These are the three things that I look for when I am doing these reaction videos. Number one is the market. Or that's number three. Number one is how simple it is. I'm not sure how I feel yet about simplicity of it. Yes, it's wax kind of run across it. It seems like, just as Kendra was doing, it seems like there's a lot going on, or maybe the guy's chest was just hairy. So I'm thinking about him kind of doing that across his chest. Seems like it's could be a lot of work. So I'm not sure how I feel about the simplicity of it yet, but maybe that changes as this pitch goes on, and we'll get back to that shortly. Number two is how effective it is. Clearly, it's removing hair. Do I have to go through that same area once or twice, or do I just kind of do it once and kind of move on, man? So one of the things that I think about is, running the tape across your chest and then pulling it. Man, I used to play football. I'm not sure if you guys can see in the background. And I remember getting my ankles taping, kind of with the lower legs being hairy, and to the extent that I wasn't able to shave my lower leg area, and we had to put the adhesive tape on and kind of rip it off. It was just not a fun thing. It was an extremely painful thing to have to go sit through day in and day out. So again, I'm not sure if I want to do that with the wax, whether it's to my chest or armpit or whatever the case may be. Again, but I may be different in that. So again, I'm not sure how the simplicity of it is, as well as the effectiveness. I guess the jury is still out on that. And then the other thing is the market. And I actually love the market because this is one of those products where you're not just buying one time and kind of keeping it forever. You're using it. And I'm pretty sure that's why she's probably making a ton of money on these things, because you're using it over and over again. You're buying it, you're using it. Obviously, it's not going to, you can't kind of put it back or reuse it. You have to buy another one and kind of keep using it in that way. So I would imagine that the market is big. Is it saturated or not? I'm not sure. I'm not necessarily kind of using those type products, so I'm not sure is it saturated or not. Let me know in the comment section if you think that this kind of wax market is saturated. I know it's definitely a market there. I haven't seen anything like this where it's literally wax that you're kind of using to kind of pull up. Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess the reason for the pause, because I think about patent things and I'm like, okay, this can definitely be a method for removing hair. Because I definitely haven't seen anything where you're waxing. You're using an actual wax to actually pull hair up. Obviously, again, blade, some type of adhesive, whatever the case may be. But actual literal wax, I haven't seen anything like that. And as a patent attorney, one of the things that you can get a patent on, not only an apparatus, which is the actual physical structure, but a method for doing something, a method, in this case, for removing hair from the human body. Again, using a wax. It may be something there. We'll see if it has some type of patent protection on it as we kind of go through the pitch. But these are just some of my initial thoughts as I'm kind of thinking through this thing in real time. I do not watch these videos ahead of time, so you're getting my raw and authentic action, my raw and authentic kind of thoughts in real time here. So let's get back to the video and see if they're going to do a little bit more to this guy, or see if the sharks are going to kind of volunteer themselves. Let's go.
Job, Kendra.
That's so satisfying.
I'm gonna dismiss Reshad. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good job, buddy.
Try to wrap my head around the 500,000, 5%,
Yes.
10 million valuation. This innovation is ancient. It was found in Phoenician times. Women have been using it forever,
Yes.
all through the Mediterranean.
Yes.
And I mean, there's zero proprietary elements to it. Anybody can do this. So help me get to $10 million.
We've actually worked 2 years to create a proprietary manufacturing process and also our own formulation. So
look it. I have to stop it. Look it. I'm telling you, I see things differently now. A lot of times these sharks, they may know a lot about business, and when you're talking about this IP stuff, this is my lane. Like I said, I do not watch these things ahead of time. But as I started to kind of go about it in real time, I'm like, okay, it can be a proprietary process here where you can get a utility patent on the actual process for removing hair. Again, I'm not in the hair removing business, but when I think of a client come in and tell me what they have going on, and I'm thinking about all the different ways we can protect it, whether it's a trademark, whether it's a patent, whatever the case may be, the first thing that popped in my head, even though they didn't say the term patent, just her describing the product as a method. And again, she just confirmed that. So I had to stop it. I typically don't like to stop it that soon after me stopping it before, but I think I know what I'm talking about a little bit. So I'm kind of patting myself on the back. So kudos to me for this. Let's get back to it. And it seems like she's about to school Kevin. So, I mean, Mr. Wonderful. So let's go.
that's where we have some of our own IP to be able to share this
Your
to the world.
process is the IP.
Yes, exactly.
So now would be a good time to tell us a little about sales.
Sales. Sales.
I would love to tell you about our sales. I launched in September 2020 as a solo entrepreneur. And at that point, at the end of the year, I made $50K in revenue.
Got it.
Fast forward to 2021, we went viral on TikTok and we made $2.6 million in sales.
Whoa.
From 50,000 to 2.6?
Yes, 50,000 to 2.6.
Then?
Yes.
That's what I'm talking
And
about.
then
girl.
last year, we ended the year in $5.6 million in sales.
Wow.
So we first started in D2C, and then we grew to Amazon. And then at the end of 2022, we made it in 300 Ulta Beauty stores.
Okay.
Last year, we expanded full nationwide and into 1,300 stores.
Well,
and
that'll
so
do
that's
it.
where we had that big bump in sales.
Did you make money on the 5.6?
No, we didn't make money.
How's that
You didn't?
possible?
We didn't make money. So in order to make profits in retail, we learned the hard way that you really need 85, 90% margins. Our margins were around 60%. However, this year we updated our suppliers and we implemented our manufacturing process. And so our margins are now hovering around 80%.
Did you lose money or?
Yes,
Okay.
we lost money last year.
How much did you lose?
We ended the year at negative 7%.
So you lost $440-some thousand. How'd you fund all those losses?
Me and my husband invested $400,000 of our personal
But
money.
you lost
into the
more.
business.
You lost 400.
So then that goes into our debt that we have right now.
How much debt do you have?
We have $1.5 million.
Hello.
There we go.
Yeah. We also have $1 million in inventory.
But it also means that you have like no cash right now.
We have no cash right now. That's why I'm here in the Shark Tank. Yeah.
That is what you need.
That is what I need right now. Yeah. Especially if we want to get into more retailers.
You can't afford to go into more retailers.
We have debt financing, which is at a high interest rate of 22%.
Wow.
Hello.
So
So that means
There it is.
so your total
5%.
debt
Yeah,
is
that's our-
1.5.
Yeah, that's what's killing us right now is because 20% of the money that we borrow is just out the door. We had all this money tied up in inventory, and now we're right sizing. So much has changed in the last few months.
Going through hyper growth like you did is hard.
Yes.
Borrowing money to get there puts you even further underwater because you're always, it feels like you can never catch up and get even, right?
Yeah.
I wish I had a way where I could just say, here you go. This is the approach. But, you know, I thought when I walked in and saw it, I thought this was food and I got hungry. I just don't know this stuff at all. So for those reasons, I'm out, but I wish you the best.
Okay, thank you, Mark.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it.
Aaliyah, the ask is too big without even fighting about the valuation. I would never value this at 10 million right now. You've got sales, I like that, but you got a long way to go. It's, you know, if you come in here for like 100, 150, even 200, maybe I take the ride, change the valuation a bit, but this is nuts. I think it's nuts. So for that reason, I'm out.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, so it's hard because you couldn't predict that you were going to go this high, and then as soon as you got that level, well, you had to learn what you didn't know, right? The amount of margin on these things, and then you got to borrow money against it. You can't leave Ultra empty-handed when they're asking for goods.
Yeah.
But you know, to give you $500,000 for 5%, you would have to distribute $10 million if you're doing really well.
That's to get your money back.
If you just to get my money back, that means you probably would have to do
in this model
$50 million.
You'd be older than the Phoenicians that invented this by the time you got your money back.
I'm out.
Thank you so much.
Aaliyah, you're
Yes.
amazing,
Yeah.
by the way. And I, you know, as you were talking, I've been there. Like, I made some of these same mistakes. I did my business on a line of credit.
Yeah.
I was bootstrapping everything. I had credit card debt.
Yeah.
I mean, it was hard to get anybody to invest in me. You know, I know what that feels like. But what you're accomplishing is really exciting. I mean, you
Thank
went
you.
from 2.8 to 5.6.
Yes.
I love what you're doing. This is just
Yeah.
not my business, and I'm a little worried about the amount of debt that you have, honestly.
Okay. Before you say no, I'm willing to make a deal, and that's why I'm here. I have worked my butt off for the last 4 years and grown super fast to be able to get to the point where I'm at now. And I really would like partnership. And you are sharks. You guys love problems. This is a great problem to solve.
Sure, we don't know if we love problems.
We love solving problems. Y'all are problem solvers, else you wouldn't be here.
The 500, that's just a big ask. And it's not even gonna really put even a little bit of damp on what you've already got to deal with, right? It's not gonna really solve a lot of problems, but I really do admire you. I'm out.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
One of the things that concerns me truly is just the competitive market. And so I wish you good luck, but I'm sorry, I'm out.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Good luck,
you.
Aaliyah. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Sometimes, me personally, I like kind of growing at a slow pace. I know a lot of times people want to go from 0 to 100, as Drake say, real quick. But I like growing at that slow pace just because when you go from 50K, I think she said, to 2.6 million to 5.6 million, you're doing that year after year, kind of just growing at millions of dollars. You would think that, okay, this is great. Seems like it kind of provides other challenges. And yeah, I was kind of floored at the fact that she wasn't making any money on $5.6 million. And I do think, I love the fact that it's her and her husband in it, and the fact that they're kind of willing to, it seems like they're all in at this point. You put $400K of your own money in it, you're definitely all in. And I do think they will figure it out. It's interesting. She has said something about having this proprietary process, but actually not using it. She just implemented it. It's kind of get things lowered, the cost lowered, which I think is interesting. Like, okay, why not kind of use it from the beginning? But maybe they just kind of thought of this thing recently, and that's why they're just implementing it to try to get costs lower. But I thought that was interesting. Again, so starting out with some good things, man. I love the fact that with these social media platforms, and this is a really big reason as to why I push not only just entrepreneurship and protecting your IP and kind of starting a business, just because it's a different day and age. It's not like 20, 30, 40 years ago where you had to be in Walmart, you had to be in Costco, Sam's Club, these big box retailers to actually have a business to make money. But now with the e-commerce platforms, you can have a website, you can sell this stuff on your social media and make a ton of money. It seems like she kind of hit a home run, at least with notoriety from TikTok and these different platforms. And now she's just trying to play level set. And yeah, I agree with the Sharks. 500K, I wasn't going to do anything. Whether you're not, especially valuing it at 10 million now, you're making $5.6 million in sales, but valuing this thing at 10 million, it seems like you have a lot of other things going on with what $1.5 million in debt, and just again paying 20% on interest on that debt. That's I don't know. It's an interesting thing, but kind of kudos to her for coming and kind of giving a pitch. I do want to kind of take a look at the website here really quickly before kind of getting you guys out on this thing. It definitely seems like she has. Let me pull it up here right here. It definitely seems like she has some IP. She has some, from my understanding, what I'm looking at, some trademark applications that are filed on the term Sugardoh. They are not yet registered. So I would like to see like the TM in the back at the bottom right-hand corner, or I guess the upper hand corner, just to let people know that you are using this thing as a brand name in a trademark sense. She did say she has some IP on the process. Now, again, I guess I say patent, but you can also have a trade secret on your process. So I'm not sure which one she has, but to the extent that it's a patent, I would love to see it at the bottom here, just to put people on notice that you do have it protected via a patent. But again, if it's a trade secret, then obviously you're not going to disclose the secret sauce of this thing. So, but again, that's cool, man. I love Sugardoh. I think that's a pretty interesting name. The waxing, I don't know. I'm not sure if I would do that. I think I'm gonna kind of stick with the Clippers. But again, making $5.6 million, she's definitely selling this thing like crazy. So kudos to her. And I do think that her and her husband will figure this thing out. She's definitely a very pleasant person, it sounds like. And again, man, you're talking about the American dream with social media and these e-commerce platforms. You can kind of hit it big quickly here. Let me know what you guys think about the actual product. To the extent that you have used Sugardoh, I would love to know your experience in the comment section. I know for me, using this adhesive tape from football with ankle tape and kind of taping your wrists and things like that, when it's time to get that stuff off and it kind of catches that hair, it's not a pleasant feeling, at least from my perspective. But maybe you guys are different, or maybe this thing kind of provides a different feel than adhesive tape. Kudos to shout outs to her for protecting her intellectual property. That's a big part of again, when you're building a company, when you're building a brand, making sure you're building it on good foundation. And I think part of that good foundation is protecting your IP early on, as opposed to trying to do it later in the game. And now you have to deal with, because you're going to have to deal with knockoffs and things like that at some point, especially when you're selling and having to deal with that without your IP being protected. It's just a headache at that point. So again, these are just some of my thoughts about this thing. Again, I do think, I'm not sure the simplicity of the effectiveness of it. Obviously, it's making money, so it's an effective thing. The market is there. Maybe have some not saturation, but it's other methods. I think, as Kevin pointed out, even though her kind of method is proprietary, there's other stuff out there that kind of does a similar thing. I do think, again, she's going to make money off this thing, so kudos to her. Hopefully she's figured out the debt problem, and kind of with the hyper growth and being able to kind of stabilize that and kind of have success going forward in the future. It seems like the company, from 2020, so it's only been around 4 years and already did close to almost $10 million. So, man, you're talking about the American dream. The American dream is alive and well. Hopefully you guys got something out of this. Hit a like for me if you do enjoy this type of content, trying to provide you guys this not only some entertainment, but also kind of providing you from my lens. Like I said, I called it out at the beginning. Man, this seems like this is a process type invention or a patent that you can get, or even a trade secret. And hey, right after that, she said, yeah, we have a proprietary process that we have protected IP. And again, I do not watch these things. I give you guys my real authentic reactions in real time on that. So I am trying to provide you guys some value from IP attorney perspective who's been doing this for the amount of time I've been doing it. Hopefully you guys got something out of it. To the extent that you do, please hit the subscribe button if you're not part of the community already. I would love to have you a part of the community. And we're doing not just these Shark Tank reaction videos, but we're doing interviews with people who've kind of built the company and protected their IP, or protected their IP and built the company based off their IP for their business, or whatever it is, whether it's a product or a service. We bring them on and interview them. I talk about different current events that's going on. We break down lawsuits from the IP perspective, who is suing who for IP infringement. We're talking about all that, not just these reaction videos. So again, I am trying to provide you guys value with regards to intellectual property. Hopefully you guys are getting it. And to the extent that you are, please support, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. And until next time, I will catch you guys later. Peace.